travel, birthdays, things like that, and try to have a conversation with someone about those things. And if you choose the right topic, you should be able to talk about it just like you can in your native language. Now, it might be more difficult because of the grammar, but the ideas should still be there. You can talk with me right now. What's the problem?
Yeah, teacher.
You just need more
Thank you.
practice, Hajar. So you need to
Yeah.
remember there's a very big problem with people learning languages. And the problems is they don't understand what practice means. Okay? Now, I
Yeah.
do understand what practice means because I'm a musician. When musicians
Mm.
practice something, we don't do it one time. We don't do it 10 times. We don't do it 100 times. We do it 1,000 times. If you can do it 1,000 times, then you can do it. But many people tell me,
Yeah.
oh, I tried, but I just couldn't do it. And I ask them, how many times did you try? And they say, well, I tried 5 times or I tried 10 times. No,
It's not
that's not
enough.
enough. That's not enough to have any sense of practice at all. That's just dipping your toes in the water, right? That's like telling me that
Yeah.
you went swimming, but you didn't go swimming. You just walked to the water and you put your toes in and that's it. That is not swimming. Swimming means you get
Yeah,
in the
teacher.
water and you practice for a while trying to swim. Okay? So you
Yeah,
guys
teacher.
all have to adjust your idea of practice. And
Yeah.
practice needs to be a lot more than you think it is. If you want to see actual improvement, if you want to see
Yeah.
progress, then you have to do it a lot more than you think.
Mhm.
Okay?
Yeah, so teacher, after that, I came in Hello Talk. Most of people in Iran told me, yeah, English language is so easy, so you can learn 6 months in
Never
So
trust
when
anybody who says
yeah,
things like that.
yeah, yeah,
It's different for every
yeah,
person, you know?
yeah, teacher. But when I was in your voice room, you told us about English language process, and so I was so glad. After that, before that, I was sad. I told by myself why why I couldn't learn English language speed so speedy. But
No.
when I hear, but when I have heard this sentence from you, I had
Yeah.
hopeful actually.
Learning a language is a lifelong process, okay? It's
Yeah,
just like
teacher.
if I asked you, can I become a master of piano in 6 months? You would say no, of course not.
Yeah,
How is language easier? It's not. It's just as difficult. So when people say that, don't ever believe that. Okay. They might
yeah,
have
teacher.
some ability in language, but they don't have the mastering. They haven't mastered the language by any means. They just have more confidence than you do, maybe. They might have learned a few skills like speaking. Maybe they focus on speaking. If you focus on speaking only for 6 months, then you can learn how to speak okay. But you
Yeah,
also need to remember that the word fluent means nothing. I hate that word because it makes you think that you're finished learning, like, oh, I'm fluent now. But there are about
yeah,
1 million words in the English language, and the average
yeah,
native
teacher.
speaker only knows about 20, 25, 30,000 of them. So that means
Hmm.
that no one is fluent.
Yeah.
Fluent means you're
So
supposed to be able to speak about anything easily, right?
yeah, teacher.
But I
Yeah,
can't
right.
speak about microbiology easily. I can't speak about the history of Iran easily because I don't know those things. So that's a silly term and it's not a
Mhm.
helpful term, you know? So forget
Yeah,
about that.
teacher.
Just remember it's a lifelong process and enjoy the process. enjoy the fact that it takes for your entire life to get. There is no end,
Yeah,
you know.
thank you. So, teacher, I have notification. My time is over.
Ah, oh, that's okay. We lost you. Okay, Hajar. Well, it was nice to see you, Hajar. I hate that timer. I hate that timer so much. So I'll remind everyone, because I hate that timer so much, that you should go to my YouTube channel, because my YouTube channel is running right now and there's no time limit on my YouTube channel. Thank you, Juan Jose, once again for reminding me. I was so tired today. I started my stream on Hello Talk and I forgot to start my YouTube stream. So thank you, Juan. Okay, let's see. Hello, Belen. Hello, hello, Gila. Good to see you. Hello, Elsa. Yeah, he's doing okay. He's at the vet right now, actually. They're looking at him and watching him for a little while because he had a bad night. Okay, let's see. Hello, Fu. Hello, Khaled. Hello, Brajesh. And hello, Asa. D, my YouTube channel, I put it there in the chat. It's right here if you need it one more time. Okay, go to my YouTube channel and follow me there. There's no time limit there. Okay, and you could still chat. You could still chat with me. Okay? If you want to come on stage, you have to be on Hello Talk. But if you just want to type and chat, then you can go to my YouTube channel. Okay? Khaled, if you go to my YouTube channel, there is a video, a very short video about how to think in English. Okay, you can go to my YouTube channel and watch that video, and you can share it, please, with many people. All right? Hello, M.I. Hello, Jackson. Luna, I'm very, very tired today. I'm very tired. I had a long night trying to stay up and help take care of Shadow. Thank you, Lena. Yeah, it's always rough to see a dog get very sick, and especially when they're old. So, my dog is sick, and we had to stay up. I had to stay up late trying to take care of him. So, Marius Jr. has slap syndrome. I've never even heard of that. What is that, where the kids go around slapping each other? I'm not sure what that means. What is that? I'm sorry to make a joke about that, but that sounds funny. I've got slap syndrome. Whack. I'm sorry, I have a syndrome. I can't help it. I have to slap people. I hope he feels better. I hope you're doing something to take care of that. I've just never heard of slap syndrome. Belen, he's 14. He's 14, so he's pretty old. All right. Whew, I am so tired. My eyes hurt. But thank you, Belen and Lena, for your messages and for your support. I appreciate it. And I do hope that Marius will be better, whatever this is. Ikra, well, welcome to my channel. Make sure you follow my YouTube channel also. There are many videos there that you can watch to help improve your English. Okay? Yes, Emma, we are doing everything we can to take care of our dog. It's red cheeks. Oh, I've never heard of that before. Let me look this up. I have never heard of that. Slap syndrome. That's so funny. That's so funny. How did it get that name? Oh, I see it now. Interesting. I've never heard of that before. Wow. Okay. Very interesting. Well, I'm sorry he's feeling bad. It says he sore throat, slight fever, upset stomach, headache, fatigue, itching. That's not good. I hope he feels better soon. Stop slapping him. I'm sorry, couldn't help it. Hello, Ezra. Jackson, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it's really hard, isn't it? I had another dog a few years ago, and well, it's a long time ago now, actually, about 7, 8 years ago. And he lived to be 16. And yeah, it's always rough. It's always really rough. D, you can't say am so tired. You have to say I am so tired. You can't just say am so tired. You need a pronoun. Okay? Hello, ABH. Aladdin, of course, you can ask me a question. How long have we been caring for him? Well, we got him when he was about 7 years old from the dog rescue place, and we have been taking care of him for 7 years. If you mean how long have I been taking care of him being sick, for about 3 days now, 2.5, 3 days. I saw a video of Adriana's crazy mouse. That's so funny, man. Like, yeah, what is wrong with that mouse? He just runs so crazy. All right, let me talk to somebody else here. Oh, let's talk to Gila. I haven't seen Gila in such a long time. Let's talk to Gila and maybe Ahab too. Hello,
Hi,
Gila. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
It's good to see you. Such a long time since I've seen you.
Thanks. It has been a long time seeing you too.
Yeah. How's everything going?
It has been going good. Not too
Good.
bad, not too
You're always so happy and cheerful. That's always so nice to see.
bad.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And what about your tests? Have your tests been going okay? I know you've been taking so many tests.
Yeah, I have been taking a lot of tests like
Yeah.
this month. Tomorrow I also have a test, and this is like the most important test. I have been killing myself like I have been like studying math. It has math and science, my two favorite subjects.
Oh, well, good for you. I'm not good at math. I like science, but I'm not good at math. Yeah.
Yeah, I love
But you'll do
science
fine.
too, but yeah, I like science too, but when I study like math, like if I study it so much, I start to like it. I don't know why.
All right.
Because I get what they're saying.
Okay, well that's good. If you understand, when you understand things, then you enjoy it. That's my problem. I don't understand it, so I can't enjoy it.
Yeah.
So,
When I don't understand something, today in my class, my teacher was like teaching history, and it was such a hard subject, and I
mm.
really hate history
Oh,
that
really?
much.
That's my favorite.
Why is
I
it your favorite? I hate it.
I love history because I like to learn about how people have changed and how things have changed, you know? And history is a lot about culture and people, you know? And so when you learn about history, history and news are really the same thing. It's just that history is old news. That's all it is,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
So
why didn't I get that? Huh. So,
but it's just, you know, but sometimes in school the way they study history is a little bit not fun because it's all about memorizing the date that things happened and stuff, and I don't really care about that. I care more about, do you understand why this was important, not what date it really happened. It's okay if you only know, maybe you know the year, but you can't remember the day. Who
yeah.
cares about the day? The year is important, but you know, then you can understand, oh, well, look what happened in this year and how things changed. And then look what happened in this year and how things changed. And then these people came and we saw them and we became friends or we had a fight. And those things changed the whole world over time, you know? So history
Yeah.
is a lot of culture, and culture is important to study so that you can
Yeah.
understand how we've changed and how we need to change more, you know?
Yeah, but our history is a lot more different than your history because it's a lot harder. Like it's two times harder than your history.
Well, your history is a lot longer than our history. That's true.
Yeah.
American history is not that old because America's not that old.
Yeah. It's like a
But,
new country.
well, yeah, kind of. It's a newer country, right? But just, try to focus on the parts that you do like and see if you can, remember that your history is something that you need to understand so that you know what to be proud of and what to not be proud of, right? That's in America. Sometimes that's the
Yeah.
problem is everybody wants to just be only proud of our history, but every country has things that they've done that you should be proud of, and there are things you've done that maybe you shouldn't be proud of. And that's important to understand both so that you can be honest about history, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
but the history that our teacher taught us was like about long, 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 really long time ago. Like when the
yeah.
day like my grandma was born, actually.
Oh, well,
My
that's
great grandma was born.
that's actually not that long ago.
For us, it's maybe a long time ago.
Well, but actually, one of my favorite kinds of history is ancient history. And that's when we talk about the Babylonians and the Sumerians and Mesopotamia. And that's the area of Iraq and Iran and the old civilizations that were there thousands of years ago. Yeah, a long, long
We
time
learned
ago.
that I think last year.
Yeah.
We learned that last year.
Yeah, what's funny about history is when you're young, they teach you the basic story, but it leaves out a lot of stuff because they just don't have time to teach you all the details. But then you get a little bit
Yeah.
older and they teach you a little bit more. And then when you get a little bit older, they teach you all of it. And then you find out that maybe some of the things they told you in the beginning were
A little,
yeah, a little too simple, maybe a little too simple. That's the way American history is. When they teach us here, when we're young, they teach you all the good things about American history, and they say, "Yay, it's all so good." And then you get into high school and you learn a little bit more, and it's like some is good, some is not so good. And then when you get into
yeah.
college, then you find out well, there were a lot of things that were not so good. But that's just the way history is. The older you get, the more truth you know about how things really
Yeah.
go. But
Yeah, when I was like at school, I was like thinking about the next year when I become like sixth grade, what history is gonna be. I'm like gonna tear myself apart. I'm so
don't
nervous right
worry,
now.
don't worry. Maybe you'll find out that you do like history. You just have to figure out which history you like. You know,
Yeah.
I studied
And
European history for a while, and I really liked that a lot. And I studied Asian history for a little while, and I studied ancient history for a while, and that's the area where you live in Egypt and some of the oldest civilizations in the world.
that's
Yeah, right. And, there's also really old civilizations that are over here in South America, and even in where I live here, there are some. It's just, in America, we don't have too many big old buildings like they do in Egypt. They have the pyramids, right? And so
yeah,
you
I
can
saw that.
still you
It's
can
so
still
fun.
see those, and they're so big and so old. And
Yeah.
in South America and Central America, they have a few pyramids also. A little different, but the same idea. But in
Yeah.
America, in the U.S., we don't have too many like that. We don't have any really, really old buildings. The people who lived here, they didn't build those kinds of big buildings that last a long time. They built things that didn't
Why?
last. Well, they just had a different way of building. They wanted to be
Well,
I think they wanted to be more connected to nature. And so they tried to be in balance with nature. So when they built something, they didn't want it to last forever because the Native Americans, they used to say, leave it as you found it. So when they would go into the forest, if they had any trash or anything, they would pick it up and take it with them. They didn't want anyone to know that they had been there. They wanted it to look just like it was natural all the time. So they were a lot more balanced with nature than we are. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Well,
I
the
think
good
so.
thing is for you guys that like the history, like for you guys, you don't have that much like old buildings and stuff. So the history is really easy for you. But also the bad news is that you can't also go visit them.
That's right. That's exactly right. We don't have a lot of old buildings, so we can't visit them. That's right. Yeah. That's right.
We also have old buildings, but mostly we don't go and travel there and to see them. My friends like they go to other cities in Iran and they like see their buildings. I only see them in the picture and
Yeah.
don't really like them.
Well, maybe, but the older you get, sometimes you get more appreciation for your own culture. Sometimes when you live in one place, you feel like, this is boring. It's boring here. But then when you get older, you start to appreciate your own culture a little bit more. So just give it time. Maybe you'll understand and appreciate it more later. You know? Yeah. How's Ahab doing? Uh-oh, what happened? I can't hear you now, Gila. What happened? Oh, there we go.
Can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
now I can.
Can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I was saying, Ihab, the past 2 weeks later, he got a really bad virus,
Oh, no.
and he got a really bad virus, and nobody in Iran has been telling us what the virus is, what the name is it, where did it even came from.
Wow.
They even told us about that. Yeah. We spent I spent whole entire my life in the doctors, buying
wow.
syringes, shots, medicines,
Wow.
and everything. Now
Yeah.
I spent my 2 weeks.
He's
I
still
spent
sick?
my whole entire. Huh?
Is
No,
he
he's
still
not
sick?
sick.
Oh, he's okay now.
No. Now,
Okay, good.
yeah, he's
I'm
okay.
glad he's okay
Uh,
now.
yeah. Yeah, I was always saying the past 2 weeks,
You
we
spent
went
a lot
so
of
much to
time
the
at the
doctor that
doctor? Yeah.
yeah, and I also become a doctor, so now I know all types of viruses.
Well, that's good. That's good. See, sometimes
Yeah.
if you're good at math and you're good at science, then you'll be a good doctor if you want to someday.
Yeah,
You
like
could
they
do that.
use some words. They use some words that they were in our science book, and I was fucking shocked. And I
Yeah,
learned that so good, and I become the best doctor in
that's
Iran.
right.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, that's how you get inspired to become something someday. You see something and you think, wow, that's cool. That's interesting. I think I like that. I want to try that. And when you're young
Yeah.
like you should be inspired by many things, So if you see
Yeah.
doctors and you want to think about that, then be inspired by that. But then maybe you'll see something else and be inspired by that too. And right now, when you're young, just let your heart go where it wants to go. Let your curiosity go wherever it wants to go. And eventually
Yeah,
you'll find the thing that you really like.
I actually changed my mind. I don't want to be a chiropractor,
Okay.
so I want to be a doctor for kids. I changed my
Okay.
mind again.
All right. That's called a pediatrician. A
What is
pediatrician.
that?
That's a doctor for children. Yeah.
Oh,
Pediatrics. Pediatric medicine is medicine for children. Pediatrician. Yeah, he wrote it there in the chat. You can see it. Pediatrician. Pediatrician.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I can see it.
Oh, you can't see it there? Hero wrote that there. But yeah, pediatric medicine means you're a doctor for children. Yeah, and everybody wants to know
Oh,
how old you are, Gila. You want to tell them?
okay. Yeah, I'm 11 years old.
She's
My
11,
birthday was
everybody.
my birthday was the next month, and yeah, I celebrated.
Your
And it was
birthday
fun.
is next month or was before?
No, it was before.
Okay, so you can
Was
say my birthday was last month.
Yeah, last month.
There you
Exactly.
go.
Mixed.
That's all right. That's okay. Wow, 11 years old. Amazing. And how's your family doing? How's your mom and dad?
My mom and dad are good. My dad is at work,
Okay.
and my mom is feeding my two brothers.
That's good. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's wonderful. It's really good to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time.
Thanks.
Yeah. And everybody wants to know how you learned English. She learned English with watching a lot of TV shows and cartoons and reading and studying, and she works hard, everybody. She works hard and she loves English, so she practices it all the time. Yeah. And you can see she knows how to think in English. So she can practice English all the time because she can think in English if she wants to, anytime she wants to. And that's the secret of practicing, is if you learn how to think in a language, then you can practice it all the time.
Yeah, I made a secret potion for learning English.
Yeah, she has a secret magic potion, everyone. And you can buy it too if you just pay her.
Okay.
Yeah, you're funny. Well, I'm going to let you go, Gila, and go see if I can talk to a few more people. But thank you for raising your hand and coming to see me again. It's always nice to see you.
Thanks.
And keep it up and good luck on your test, okay? I know you're going to do really, really well. So just
Yeah.
keep working hard and just keep doing what you do. And I have all the faith in you. Don't worry. I know you're going to do just great, okay?
It's a lot.
You're welcome. All right, well, tell your mom and dad I said hi, and tell Ahab I'm glad he's better now, okay? Maybe I'll see him next time, okay?
Okay.
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 Bye-bye, Gila.
Bye.
All right. Yeah, she's pretty great, huh, everybody? Look at that. 11 years old. She just turned 11. Her English is as good as any American 11-year-old, if not better than most American 11-year-olds. Her English is amazing. All right, give me a minute here. I need to pace myself a little bit. I'm tired today, so give me a minute. And I know there's a lot of comments here. Let me read some comments, and then I'll talk to some more people on stage, okay? But slow down a little bit with the comments. Okay, Ziad, what do you want to talk about my career? What do you want to know? Hello, Samia. Jagmeet, you want to know about pronunciation? Well, it's hard for me to work on your pronunciation, Jagmeet, if I don't talk to you. But maybe tomorrow I'll have another live stream tomorrow, and I'll do a pronunciation live stream. Okay, so join my live stream tomorrow and raise your hand to come on stage, and I will help you to fix your pronunciation, and I will teach you some tips about pronunciation. Okay, I have many tips about pronunciation. Okay. Is it important to learn an American or a British accent? Aladdin, that's completely up to you. Your accent is whatever accent you want to have, okay? And the truth is, you don't have to have an American accent or a British accent. You're from Egypt, so have an Egyptian accent. I've said this many times, and I'll say it many times more. Listen, you can speak English perfectly well with any accent. You can speak English perfectly clearly with an Egyptian accent. You can speak English perfectly clearly with a Chinese accent, a German accent, a French accent, a Portuguese accent. Your accent does not matter, okay? If you have a choice of buying two cars, one car has a perfect engine and the interior of the car is perfect, but it has no paint. There's no paint. Or maybe the paint job is not that nice. Okay? Or you can have the same car, but the engine does not work and the interior is not good, but the paint is the most beautiful paint you've ever seen in your life. Which car do you want? Everyone, your accent is the paint on the car. It's not at all important to your actual language. It has nothing to do with language. It's just the paint. It's just the way it sounds, but it has nothing to do with your ability to speak well. Clarity is what you need, not perfection. Clarity. Okay? So don't worry about American accent or British accent. Choose whichever one you like. It does not matter. Really, there is no difference. But then you don't even have to sound like me. You just have to sound clear. Do you understand? Okay? Hello, Bilal. ABH, hello, welcome to my channel. I have been here for more than 1,450 hours teaching about English tips. Okay? I have a YouTube channel that you can go follow. There are many, many, many videos you can watch there with a lot of important advice about learning language, about learning English. Okay? I've been teaching for 30 years. Okay? And Aladdin, please don't repeat your question like that. Why would you do that, my friend? That's rude. Aladdin, how many people are here? Not just you. Okay, don't do that. If you have a question, write it one time, and only one time, and then be patient and wait. Okay? This is a classroom. You have to act like it's a classroom. Okay? Oh, okay, let's see. Okay, now you have to wait because there are many, many comments, and I'm trying to answer all of them. Do you hear me? Audience, do you hear me? Wait. Be patient. I will answer your question, but you must wait. I haven't read it yet. Okay? All right. Hello, David. David, follow my channel here. I have almost 64,000 followers, and they don't follow me because I'm funny or cute. They follow me because I have good English tips. Okay? Follow my YouTube channel also. And over here in YouTube, HR, thank you for following my YouTube channel. Yes. And hello, Alex. Alex, the word credential. Credentials means it's like your educational or work background. So, for example, if you have a degree in something, then that's part of your credentials. Or if you study to get a TEFL certificate like I have for teaching English, that is part of your credentials. So if someone says, what are your credentials to do this thing? They want to know, why are you qualified to do this thing? Have you studied about it? Do you have any, certificates or degrees about this thing? Those are your credentials. Or maybe you don't have any certificates or degrees, but you have a lot of experience. That's a credential too. Okay? Hello, Andrew. How did I come up with the name? AFIEC? It means a friend in every corner. A friend in every corner English. Because I have friends in every corner of the world. Because I've been on Hello Talk for more than 10 years. Okay? Hello, Islam. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your well wishes. Hello, Messi. Oh, okay. Thank you, Isra. Hello, Najia. Hello, Sib. Hello, Christopher. Okay, I'm catching up, everybody. Just be patient. Be patient. Hello, Leilak. I'm in shape again? I don't know, maybe. Hello, Johnny. Good to see you. That's right, Hero. There are no secret recipes, just a lot of work and effort. And it helps if you enjoy what you're doing. And she loves English. Gila loves English, so it's obvious she loves it. And that's why she learns so well, because she enjoys it. Can I help in your fluency and pronunciation? Christopher, I'm going to have a pronunciation live stream tomorrow. So join my live stream tomorrow and raise your hand, and I'll give you tips about pronunciation, and you can come on the stage and I'll listen to you and tell you how you can fix your pronunciation. Okay? And fluency, don't even think about that word. It doesn't exist. It's a myth. There is no such thing as fluency. No one is ever finished learning a language. No one is ever good enough at any language. It's something that you start learning and you finish learning when you die. Okay? There is no stopping point or good enough point. All right? Forget about that. Thank you, Elsa. You know that I'll be mad if you spam in my chat. That's exactly right. What time tomorrow? Well, Sib, it kind of depends on how things go with my dog. Right? Usually my streams start at 9 or 9:30 a.m. New York City time. But because of my sick dog, today and yesterday, my streams were much later, like now. Okay? So here, let me teach you a phrase. Things are touch and go right now. Things are touch and go. Touch and go means I have to improvise. I can't tell you a time because I have to see how things go, and then I'll make a plan based on how things go. Okay? So usually I do it at 9 or 9:30, and hopefully I'll be able to do that. But if he's sick and I need to take care of him, then maybe it will be later. Okay? Or maybe I need a break because I'm too tired. Okay? Hello, Samaya. You failed an important exam because of your pronunciation? Then come tomorrow, Sib, and I'll help you. Don't worry. I have lots of interesting tricks, okay? Okay, Bellin, I'll see you a little bit later. Follow the yellow brick road, B-R-I-C-K. What does it mean for Americans? It's a song from The Wizard of Oz. Follow the yellow brick road, follow the yellow brick road. Follow, 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 follow the yellow brick road. It's a song from The Wizard of Oz, which is a musical and a book. Okay, so that's what it means. It's just a song from the play and the musical. Okay? Sib, you don't need to sound like an English native speaker to pass any test. You don't. I promise you, you don't. Okay, you just need to be clear, and I will work on it with you, okay? Okay, let's see. No, you don't need an American accent in America. Nobody cares what accent you have. If you come here, there are people with every accent in the world. Okay? The girl who I go to at my post office, she has an Indian accent. My neighbor has a Chinese accent. There's another neighbor up the road who has a French accent, and another one with a German accent. Nobody cares about your accent. They only care if they can understand you. And you can speak well with any accent. Okay? The only problem is if your accent is not clear, then when I look at you, I'll say, I don't understand what you're saying, because it's not clear. But it doesn't have to be perfect. That's ridiculous. You just have to be understandable. Okay? Yes, I have a YouTube channel. My friend Islam is always putting it there. The channel that Islam Mohammed is my friend from Egypt, and he is promoting me in the channel here. So when he puts that YouTube channel, that's my YouTube channel. He's trying to help me. So that's the channel to go to. This one right here. Okay? All right. I'm almost caught up. Danish, you have to wait till I catch up with the comments first, okay? No, Aladdin, I live in America. I promise you, no one cares what accent you have. I assure you, it's not important at all. I'm a teacher. It's my job to know these things, okay? Whoever told you you need to have a perfect American accent doesn't know what they're talking about. Okay? You can choose to listen to me or not. Okay? What does all right mean? Well, it's spelled with one L, and it means okay. If I say this is all right, it means this is okay. If I say this is all right, it means this is acceptable or good enough. Okay? Hello, Dima. Can I teach you how to use present perfect continuous? Yeah, but give me a few minutes to try to find a good page to try to suggest, okay? So just give me a minute, all right? Hello, Sundus. Hello, Andrew G. You have an English assignment to record a video about your English journey. That sounds like an interesting assignment. Don't speak too fast and just do the best you can. Talk about the things that are important to you and talk about why English is important to you and talk about the things that have been difficult for you and the things that have been easy for you and talk about your goals. Okay? Hello, Mai from Vietnam. Xin chào. Hamad, if you want to know how to think in English, go to my YouTube channel, and there is a 5-minute video that teaches how to think in English. Okay? It gives you my system of how to think in English. It's 5 minutes. Okay? You're welcome, Mai. Okay, Ria and everybody here. Everyone wants to talk to me. There are 64,000 followers on my channel. Be patient. I'll get to you when I can. Okay? Be patient. If you're not patient, then I won't help you. Okay? Hello, Amir. Okay, Aladdin, did you hear my answer, Aladdin? Did you hear my answer? I want you to tell me you heard my answer, Aladdin. No one cares about an accent in America. I'm not British, and I don't care what the British people do. Okay? Whatever they do, I have no idea. It's not important to me because I'm an American. All right? But I can tell you, it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. If you go to London, do you know how many people have an Indian accent in London? Do you know how many people have an Arabic accent in London? Do you know how many people have other accents? No one cares. No one cares. They only care if you can speak clearly and express yourself well. That's all they care about. All right? Little finger, no, I'm not married, no children. I'm a good uncle, though. Okay, I'm trying to catch up, everyone. I'm trying to catch up. Let's see. Yes, I'm a drummer. And yeah, actually, I may have to go pick up my dog sometime soon here too, because he's at the vet, and I have to go to get him. Can I hear you singing? What? No? What do you mean? I don't hear anything. Hello, Tina. Hello, everyone. Well, I'm glad you're back, Littlefinger. Hello from Sri Lanka. You wish I could be the U.S. president one day? I don't want that job. I don't want that job. Okay, Aladdin, just next time, please be more patient, all right? I have many followers, so you have to be patient for everyone, all right? We're all here to learn, so just be patient next time. Please don't write your comments a bunch of times in my chat, all right? Accent helps, but isn't strictly necessary. That's right, but again, it's still just really not, in my opinion, not that important, okay? I can name 100 people who speak English better than I do with an accent. So what does that mean? Accents are just the paint on the car. All right? Thank you, D. Can I read your name? V. Kokulan? Helen, I'm speaking pretty slowly most of the time here, okay? Ahad, I think he's doing okay. He's at the vet right now. Hello, Evan. I'm very tired today, but I'm hanging in there. Thank you, Layla. I'm okay. How are you? Esra, you want to improve your speaking skills. You want to, okay, well, then Esra, you need this app. This app is good, but you also need books and teachers and videos and live streams and YouTube and voice rooms and podcasts and anything that you can get. Everything that you can get to learn will help you learn. Okay? Don't limit your learning. If you limit your learning, you limit your possibilities of improving. Okay? So when you should learn anything at all, any language, any subject, get every tool that you can to help you learn. Okay? That's nice of you to say, Littlefinger. Thank you. Okay. All right. I've caught up with the comments finally. Can I do a barrel roll? A barrel roll is a flight description. Do you mean a drum roll, Evan? I think you mean a drum roll. Yes, I can. And yes, Layla, I am a teacher. I am a teacher. Hello, Sayaka. Konnichiwa. Okay, let's talk to somebody on my stage. Raise your hand if you want to come on my stage and talk with me. Okay, let me check my comments over in YouTube. So thank you guys for being patient in YouTube also. The difference between buy and purchase, nothing. They mean the same thing. It's just a synonym. I want to buy this, I want to purchase this. Same thing. What's the meaning of due? D-U-E, due. It means the date that something must be completed or the time that something must be completed. Okay, so if I say this assignment is due at 12 o'clock tomorrow, that's when you must give it back to me. If I say that the baby is due to be born in October, that means that the baby will be born in that month. Okay, so due is a word that means the date or time when something must be completed or will be completed. You want to know about whether you use famous phrases from famous films in conversation? For example, I feel not in Kansas anymore. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we use those. Absolutely. And actually, it's very common to quote movies, famous movies in America. A lot of people like to do that. My friends and I do that all the time. Okay? All right. Do a drum roll while doing a barrel roll? Well, that would be fun. I'm sure it can be done if I had a plane. All right. Let's talk. Let's see. Who wants to come talk to me? All right. Ria wants to talk to me first. Before I do, I need to check to see if I need to go. All right. So just give me 1 minute to find out if we're going to go pick up my dog from the vet first. Okay. Because I may have to go right now, and maybe I'll come back and talk to you after I get back from the vet. All right. So just give me 1 moment to go find out what's going on. All right. Please wait. I'll be right back. All right, so I have some time to talk here. So let's see, is Ria still here? There's Ria. Let's talk to Ria for a minute. Hello, Ria. How are you?
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Do you want me to turn your
Thank you.
camera off? I can turn it off for you if you want me to.
Yeah, please do that. I don't know how to work it.
Okay, it's off. What can I do for you today? How can I help you?
Sir, I want to check, I want to learn the pronunciation. I'm a beginner. I'm beginner at level. So, yes, as you are English teacher, I want to know some tips from you. How can I get better?
Okay. Well, you're not bad already. I understand you. So there's not too much to work on. All right. Now, I want to prove my point to you and everybody here about how you can speak English perfectly with any accent. Okay. I'm going to prove it to everyone here. This is my iPhone 14. On my iPhone 14, you can choose the language that you, or the accent that you want your Siri to use, right? And I can choose an American accent. I can choose a British accent. I can choose an Australian accent. And the other one they have on here is an Indian accent. Did you know that? My iPhone can have an Indian accent. If Indian accents were bad, then why would they use it? Because it's not bad. There's nothing wrong with having an Indian accent. There's nothing wrong with having a Japanese accent or a French accent or a German accent or a Chinese accent. The only problem with your accent is if it is not clear. Okay? So you don't have to sound like me. You do have to sound clear. There's a big difference between those things. Okay? So, Ria, one thing I tell everybody, especially if you're Asia, English is a big mouth language. Do you speak Hindi or Tamil?
I speak Hindi.
Okay, so both Hindi and Tamil use a pretty small mouth when you speak. And when you speak English, you're using the same mouth movements that you use in India and in Hindi to speak English. And that's why you have an accent. Okay, so let me show you something. Do you think my English accent is very clear?
I understand what you speak very clearly.
Okay, so the reason why is because I'm moving my mouth a lot. Okay, now in English, we have a word. The word is mumble. To mumble is a verb that means that you're not speaking clearly because you're not moving your mouth a lot at all. So watch, I'm going to mumble for you right now. Okay, so if I say, "Hello, Ria, it's nice to meet you today. How are you? My name is Teacher Mark." It's not very clear because I'm not moving my mouth. But if I speak like this, now it's very clear because I am moving my mouth and it's very big. So, one of the things I tell people from India and people from Japan and people from China and people from Vietnam, you must move your mouth bigger and more if you want to sound more clear with your English. Practice your English vowels. A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, If your vowels sound like this, A, E, I, O, U, I, O, no, that's not going to be clear. Okay? The secret of clarity in English language is making your vowels nice and big. That's the secret. Okay? Now, I don't know about British because I'm not British, so nobody cares about that. I'm American. I'm from America. I'm telling you how we do it. And the way I teach you is like an actor, okay? And I don't mean a movie actor. I mean a stage actor, okay? Like Shakespeare. You know Shakespeare, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I know Shakespeare.
so a long time ago when they had to perform on stage, they didn't have any microphones. So if you walked on stage and you said, "Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?" no one would hear you. The people in the room would not hear you. So you have to say, "Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?" You have to speak with great enunciation and diction. And you have to project your voice so that everyone can hear you clearly. Okay? They told me in acting class, pretend like your grandma came to see you and she's sitting in the back of the room and she doesn't hear very well. So she wants to see you, but you need to speak clearly and loudly so that grandma can understand you. Okay? That's the secret of English pronunciation. It's the secret of pronunciation in any language. You must find out what mouth movements are used for that language. So I speak Chinese, Ria, and when I speak Chinese, Chinese is a small mouth language. If I use a big mouth when I speak Chinese, it sounds weird. But if I use a small mouth, it sounds a lot better. Okay? And here's my final point, Ria. There is a rare brain disorder. There's a rare brain disorder called foreign accent syndrome. Okay? And what this is, it's a brain damage. If you fall and hit your head on the ground, it's very rare, but every once in a while when this happens, it causes a brain damage. It causes part of your brain to be damaged. And that part of your brain affects your mouth movements. Okay? And what happens is there's a woman in England, you can read about this online. I think she's about 60 years old, and she had never been to China. She didn't know any Chinese people. Didn't know anything about the Chinese language at all. But one day she fell and hit her head. And when she came back and got back up and she spoke, her accent had changed. And now suddenly she sounded almost like she was Chinese. And the reason why was because the brain damage caused her mouth movements to be different. and that changed her accent. So the mouth movements are the secret to your accent. You must figure out what are the proper mouth movements for this language. And every language is different, okay? But the most important part of American English is big vowels. Big vowels, okay? So practice your vowels. Now I'm going to give you one more tip that's also useful for improving your pronunciation. I want you to write down 10 words that are difficult for you to say in English well. Okay, think about which words that you know you don't sound the way you want to sound. You know, everybody who's trying to improve their accent, there are certain sounds that are hard for them. Maybe it's the R sound or the V sound or the TH sound or the B sound, right? So if you know that, then I want you to write down one of those words and put it on a piece of paper on the top of the page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Across the top, 10 different words that you have trouble with. And then you need to look at each of those words and you need to say, why is this word hard for me? Which sound is difficult? Is it the B? Is it the R? Is it the L? Think about it. Maybe there are more than one sound in that. Maybe there could be more than one sound in that word that's difficult for you, okay? And now you have to do a little research and try to find online, do a search for other words that sound like that word and write them down in a column, okay? So you'll have 10 columns with a list of words that you can practice that are difficult for you to say. This is what I call your target accent improvement list, your TAIL, TAIL, target accent improvement list. You can fold that piece of paper up, put it in your pocket, and open it every day to try to practice those words. All right? So the secret of English, speaking clearly, is about moving your mouth well, and especially American English, big. All right? Not small, big. All right? And then write down a list of words that are difficult for you, and that's your new target accent improvement list. Practice those words every day. Okay?
That's really a great help, sir. Like I got the last point tail. I need to work on that. I would surely make 10 words where I found difficulty in pronunciation of certain words, vowels, and that is also a great help when you said about accent, big mouth vowels,
Yeah, that's
short
right.
mouth vowels.
That's right.
So I'm definitely like I don't never bothered about accent. Even I want to put across my point clearly. The message of your language is you need to convey your things to others.
That's exactly right. Language is not about perfection of accent. Language is about communication and expression of ideas. If you can communicate your ideas and express yourself well, it does not matter what accent you have. Okay? So I say this often. You can speak English perfectly well with a Japanese accent, a French accent, a German accent, a Portuguese accent, an Arabic accent, a Hindi accent. It does not matter which accent you have. It only matters if it's clear. I'm going to make one final point here. Wait 1 minute. This is a box of crayons. When you buy a box of crayons, look at all the colors. Does anyone buy a box of all black crayons or all white crayons or all gray crayons? No. When you buy crayons, you want all the colors, right? Your accent is your color. I don't want you to lose your color. The world would be a very boring place if everyone sounded like me. Okay? Now, I have a question though. If I want you to write your name with the crayon, if the crayon is not sharp, then you can't write it very clearly. So what do you have to do? Do you change the color of the crayon or do you sharpen it?
Of course, we will go for sharpening it.
That's what you need to do with your accent. Don't lose your accent. There's no need to lose your color. Just sharpen your words so they're clear. That's all you need to do. Okay? And I also want to remind you of one other important factor. When you say you want to get rid of your accent, I want you to consider something about what that means. If everyone does that, what does that say about your culture? It's almost like you're embarrassed by your own culture.
No, I guess most of the students, most of the members, they come here and want to change their accent. It's not because they're fed up with their culture. It's because of competitive exam, like IELTS and all, where they feel that accent it plays crucial role to crack the exam. But it's not true, as you
I
said.
agree. Right. It's not true. And once again, though, but they might not feel that way. But Ria, it might be a consequence, right? Even if they don't, if maybe they're not embarrassed by their culture, but if everyone decides, well, I can't have an Indian accent, I have to speak like a British person or an American person, it could have that result in the world that people will get the idea that that accent is bad. And no, it's not true. So have an Indian accent, but have a good Indian accent that's clear. Okay? You don't have to have, again, my phone has an Indian accent. If it were bad, why would they do that? Because it's not bad. It's perfectly clear and everyone can understand it. So clarity should be the goal. Okay? And one final tip. If you want to sound like me, you can, but it'll take you between 5 to 10 years to perfect
I'm really
this.
happy with my accent, sir.
Okay, so if you want to be clear, it only takes 1 year. 1 year of good practice to improve the things that I just told you about, and your accent will be wonderful. Okay, it'll be clear. But if you want it to sound exactly like me, that's going to take about 5 to 10 years of very hard work. All right, so that's up to you. If you really want to do that, that's great, but it's not important and it's not necessary. I don't care what any test has. The tests mean nothing to me. I promise you, if you go into there and you speak well, meaning you have great ideas and you obviously are fluent in the language that you feel like you can speak, all of your ideas come out smoothly. They won't care what accent you have. They will care that you have confidence in the language.
I totally agree with your points.
Okay.
Clarity should be your goal,
That's
not
exactly
the
right.
accent.
Don't lose your color, everyone. The world needs color. Just sharpen your accent. Don't.
Thank you so much, sir,
You're
for
welcome.
giving me this opportunity.
You're welcome, Ria, and thank you. And by the way, Ria, where are you in India? Are you in Delhi or where? Mumbai? Where?
No, sir, I'm from Maharashtra.
Where
I'm
is
from
that? Is that
Pune.
in the north, south, east, west?
It's north side, sir.
North side. Okay. All right. Good. Well, wonderful. Thank you for coming on my stage, Ria, and I'm going to let you go and see if I can talk to a couple more people here today, okay?
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, and take care. I'll see you next time, okay?
Sure. I
Bye.
would love to join your session.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye. All right. Let me check some comments here. What is the meaning of I'd? Jagmeet. I apostrophe D means I would. I would do this. I would do that. Okay? So if I say I'd study more if I were you, I'm saying I would study more if I were you. Okay, Jagmeet? If for you follow the yellow brick road, just the words to the song, then but Johnny, there are the 1939 film is still played on TV and has been since I was a child. So every year it gets played on TV and it's still somewhat popular. Okay, and they have actually remade that movie a couple of times since 1939 also. So it still has the same meaning, and we still have watched that movie, even the 1939 version. Okay, I watched it many times as a child. I'm not that old. Okay. Hello, Compass. Hello, Erica. Okay. Thank you, Islam. I could have been a contender. Evan. All right, Evan. Yeah, see, look, Lu Min Min says, I can totally understand what Ria says. She speaks more clearly than some of my other Indian colleagues. Okay? Layla, I'm sorry, I don't have time to go into that kind of a grammar explanation right now. I really only have time to help a few more people here before I have to go and pick up my dog from the vet. So maybe tomorrow I might be able to help you with some more in-depth grammar questions, okay? I'm smarter than the average bear. See, look, Evan's quoting lots of stuff. That's a doozy. Ooh, that's a doozy. Now that is a Groundhog Day quote, isn't that? That's one of my favorite movies. A doozy. It's actually a word that comes from the... a Duesenberg was a kind of car that was a really fancy luxury car. So doozy was a short meaning for a Duesenberg. It was the original meaning was the car. That's a doozy. But then it became something that we said for anything that was unique or special, and sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way. Okay, often it's actually in a bad way, like in the movie. But originally it's talking about a brand of car called the Duesenberg. Okay, yeah, that's what it means, Sib, that's a doozy. Okay. All right, I think I have time to help at least one more person here. Yeah, Johnny, I'd say depending on the person, some people like to quote movies often. Yeah, some people like to quote movies often. The dude abides. The dude abides. This carpet really pulls the room together. My carpet really does pull the room together, doesn't it? Will I have a voice room today, Islam? I'm not sure. Maybe not. I think I might be too busy and tired today to do that. And I need to make videos, Islam. I've just been too busy and haven't had time, or I've been too tired to make videos. So I need to do that at some point. I keep saying I'm going to do it, and I haven't. All right. Hello, Elias. I'm fine. How are you? Hello, Sam and Amir. Hello to John. Okay, let's see. Let me talk with Dima, and then I'll try to talk with Lokesh.
Hello, Mark.
Hello, Dima. How are you, my friend? Good to see you again.
I'm good. Yeah, nice to see you again. By the way, you have a new hairstyle.
Not really. It's basically
Never.
just what my hair looks like when I don't do anything with it.
Oh.
And so this is just when I don't put my hair up, then then I just wake up and and I've just been too busy and too bored and not interested in spending time on my hair.
You could say that yes, I have. Yes, I do.
I could, but
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, You wanted to know about present perfect continuous, right?
Oh, yeah. It was my question. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm confused because I often see present perfect continuous and I often see present perfect simple, and I don't understand the difference when I can use one, when I can use another. So I'm a bit confused.
Okay, so present perfect simple is just present perfect. And the thing that you have to remember about any of the perfect tenses is that the word perfect does not mean the modern meaning of perfect. So what does the word perfect mean to you when you say
Oh,
perfect?
I remember you told it's from Latin.
Right.
Perfect. It's I've forgotten.
Well, tell me what you think the modern meaning of perfect means. What's the modern meaning of perfect first?
Perfect.
If I
it's
say
like
this is perfect,
without
without
any,
flaws, right? That's
yeah.
right. Without flaws, 100%. That's perfect, right? But that's not what perfect means when we talk about grammar. It means completed.
Oh,
Completed.
yeah. Completely.
So present perfect, you should just say present completed. Okay? Now, the difference between present completed and present completed continuous is a very simple thing. Present completed means it was something that started in the past and ended in the past at a different time, right? So maybe something that started last year and ended 6 months ago, right? But present perfect continuous is something that started in the past and you're talking about all the times you've done it up until now and you're still doing it.
Still do.
Well, you could be. Yeah. Let's look at some examples. Now, this is another one where if you don't understand how to use any of these tenses, one of the best things you can do is just look up example sentences and read many, many, many of them. Sometimes it's a little confusing, but honestly, it's one of the best ways because sometimes the rules, when you just read the rules of the explanations, they might confuse you more. But let's see. So here is present perfect continuous. So I have been living in this house for 40 years. Yeah, so that's for the last 40 years and still now. I have been. So you're still living in it now. It's continuous. You're continuing, right? I have been climbing up this mountain for over 2 hours. So you started 2 hours ago and you're still climbing it now. Okay. I have been waiting for you since 10 a.m. You started waiting at 10 a.m. and you're still waiting now.
Oh, yeah. It's
Get it?
really
It's still continuous, right?
cool.
But
Yeah.
if I say present perfect examples, let's see. Here we go.
I've never been to the USA.
Let's see. Let's see. The clock has just struck 12. So that means it just struck 12, and that was at a time. It's not now because when is now? You know, present is always a funny thing to talk about, right? Because is it now, or is it now, or is it now, or is it now? You know, the present is never really there. You know, it's really, that's what makes tenses really difficult, is the concept of present is not ever really stable, right? So that's what makes present perfect a little bit confusing, okay? But if you say, I have been in, I have done all my homework. I have done all my homework. That's something that you started in the past and it finished at some point in the past. So think about it like this way. Present perfect has 2 time periods, okay? Let's start with simple. Simple past has 1 time period. Yesterday, I went to the baseball game. That's in the past, and it finished in the past, and it's over. It's 1 time period. But if you say, I have been to the baseball game twice this week, now it's something that you started in the past, and it ended in the past. Right? So I went on Wednesday, and I also went on Thursday. Right? And today is Friday. So that means I started it in the past, but it also ended in the past. But then present continuous is going to have 3 time periods, really. You're talking about the past and then how many times you've done it between there to now. So there's 1, 2, 3. So present, or I'm sorry, the present simple past is just one time period in the past. Present perfect, two time periods in the past, finished in the past. Present perfect, continuous in the past, and all the way up until now. So there are three. One,
Yeah.
two, three.
Now I understand 100% the difference between continuous and present perfect simple. But I've read that when you use a time words like today or yesterday or last week, for example, I did it last week. I can use it only with past simple. Is it right?
If you say I did it last week, yes. But if you use have, like I have done it or I have been, then when you start using those words, that's when we start getting into, you're talking about continuous. Yeah.
And I
that's-
can use last week too with present perfect continuous.
If you say, I'm sure there must be an example that I could come up with like that. Yeah, let me think. Yeah, if I said something like from last week till now or something like that, I have been to the baseball game 5 times or something. And that would mean that it started in the past and it continued all the way up until now. Right? It does get confusing. And again, I really think that the thing you should do is look up more examples. Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I have many examples to understand it.
Let's see here. So this is saying present perfect simple usually focuses on the result of activity in some way. And present perfect continuous usually focuses on the activity. Wait. Oh, I see. So the way they're explaining it is a little different than how I do. So they're saying that present perfect is focusing on the result of the activity. The result, the finished, completed,
result?
the completed thing, right? But present perfect continuous is usually focusing on the activity itself, not just the completion of it. So again, it's like when you're saying that you're still doing it. So I have been living in this house for 40 years. You're still living in it. It's you're talking about the living in part. Understand?
No, I think it's like with articles in English. I didn't understand how to use article. The without the articles. I didn't understand first time. I tried to read the rules, grammar rules, but it didn't help at all.
Yeah.
But at one moment, I started to feel how to use this rule, how to use this article, how to use there, or something else.
Right.
And I don't care about rules at all.
Yeah,
I don't
I don't
care
either.
about grammar
I don't even.
now.
Yeah.
Maybe this with tenses the same.
It is
way-
somewhat. It is somewhat. Look, life is not a test. Many of you in this room, you're focused on the IELTS test or one of the English tests, okay? And I understand that, okay? But the truth of the matter is, I don't care about those tests. I care about language. I care about life. And in real life, no, those things are not that important, okay? It's very rare that you're going to say something in a real life situation where if you accidentally use the wrong tense, someone's life is going to lose, they're going to lose their life because of something you said. Oh, you said present perfect when you should have said present perfect continuous. Kill him now. No, that's not going to happen. And again, we focus on grammar so much. This is one reason I hate grammar, because everyone is afraid of language because of grammar.
Yeah.
Everyone would be more willing to learn languages and study languages if we didn't focus so much on the grammar and we focused more on the communication. And sure, grammar can get better in time. You will get better in time. But the fact that we focus so much on it in the beginning is just ridiculous. That's why I tell people that if they decide they want to study a language, the first thing they should do the first book they should get is a travel book. So if you want to study German, get a travel German book because they don't care about grammar. They're teaching you practical language that you're going to use for 2 weeks when you're on your vacation in Germany. And that's a wonderful way to start learning a language because you can learn about how to say, I want this, I don't want that, I need this, I don't need that. Where is the bathroom? Can I order this food? Those are practical ways to start a language. And then you can start dipping your toes into the water of grammar. Okay? But everybody who's studying language now, they think you must start with grammar and then they get bored or tired or frustrated and then they quit. So grammar is the biggest reason why people don't learn languages. And that's why I rage against it, because it is not language. Grammar is talking about language, but it is not language itself. Just like music is music. But we also have music theory. I can talk about the C major scale and the D minor scale and flat sevens and sharp 11s. But that is not music. That is talking about music. It's not the same thing. And guess what? You can learn how to play the piano without knowing any music theory. Many people sit down to learn an instrument, guitar or piano, and they don't know anything about the scales. They don't know anything about the chords. They know what they hear. They know what it sounds good or bad. That's all they know.
Yeah, I play guitar this way.
Right.
without
Well, there you
theory.
go.
I
Well,
don't
guess
know.
what?
I
So
know
does Eric Clapton.
Very few
So does
about the theory.
Eric Clapton, one of the most famous guitar players in the world. He doesn't know anything about music theory. Elton John doesn't know much about music theory.
Oh, do you know C6 Steve?
Do I know what?
C6 Steve.
No.
C6 Steve? I don't know. C6 Steve, try to check. It's an American, I think, blues musician. It's an old man.
How do you spell it?
C6 Steve.
Cesic Steve.
C6 Steve. Maybe I pronounce not
No,
correctly.
yeah.
I don't know.
I usually know all the old blues musicians, so
I
I'm trying to remember.
I just heard. I've read about his story, how he started playing music. He found an old guitar from his friend, and it was not real guitar. It was like a fake guitar, just for decoration, just a decoration.
White
But
guy or a black guy?
it's white old man.
Stevie Ray Vaughan? No.
I don't know. I know
Okay.
him like C6 Steve.
Huh. Okay. I'm not sure. That
He
might be
has
the-
one song about old dog, something about old dog. It's like I don't know. He used many idioms in his songs. It's like old style of music, but he took that decoration guitar
Yeah.
and took strings
Right.
and set the
Just put it on
strings
there
to
and just-
guitar and started to play just
Right.
crazy.
And that's what I'm saying. Language should be approached the same way music is. You don't have to know about music theory. It helps, but it's not that crucial. It's not the most important thing. And most musicians learn most of their music theory later, not in the beginning. Or they learn only the most basic, right? We learn major scales and minor scales and a few chords, and that's it. But when we study English grammar, they teach you 16 tenses within the first year. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's stupid. So, yeah, again, language and music are very much the same. That's
Yeah,
why
very
I tell
much.
people I
It's-
don't want you to be fluent. I want you to be musical with your language. And what does that word mean? It means it sounds good to your ears, like music.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all. Okay?
But in fact, when I started learning English, I remember I used one rule about present, past, and future simple tenses in order to start it. Just, for example, I do, I did, I will do, in order to not be confused what tense I use, past tense, present tense, or future tense. Without this, I couldn't start speaking English at all. But it was only one rule, only one rule.
Right.
But after this, it started. It became easily, a little bit easily.
Well, that's good.
It's like chords for guitar. I knew only chords, how
Right.
to take some chords to play
Chords.
guitar, and then
Chords.
chords. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, chords.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. I know what you said. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and again, everybody, really, if you really want to know how to use grammar, okay, then what you need to do is you need to remember that native speakers of any language, they don't learn grammar from books. They learn grammar from their environment. Okay, we study grammar a little bit in books, sure, but what you do is you say something incorrectly and then your mom corrects you. That's how we learn grammar all around the world. It's by our environment. So you don't have that ability with English. You don't have an English environment to correct you. So you need to find a way to replace that. And the best way you can do that is just simple repetition. So what I tell everyone is what I did when I studied Chinese. I took my Chinese book to the convenience store where they had a copy machine, and I copied that book 5 times. And I went through that book 5 times. If you go through a book, a grammar book, 5 times, you're going to understand everything fine by the time you finish the 5th one. Okay, the first one will be hard. The second one will be a little hard. The third one should be, oh, I think I'm starting to get it. The fourth one, you should feel like, I think I've got it now. And the 5th one, you'll feel like, oh, boom, no problem. I know these answers. Okay? It sucks because it's a lot of repetition, but it's not that hard. It's the same book again and again and again and again and again, 5 times.
The only one problem is that it's getting boring.
It is.
after
That's
many
exactly
times.
right. You're right. It is. But you should consider it like a badge of honor. There's certain aspects of learning that can't be fun. There are certain aspects of learning. As a teacher, you want to make learning fun as much as you possibly can, but learning is not the circus. Okay? It's not the circus. And
Who knows?
there are certain
Who
parts
knows?
of learning that have to be, you just have to push through. It's not easy. It's difficult. You have to do the hard work. Okay? And so grammar is one of these. I feel that most of grammar is just, that's the hard work of language learning. And you could do it many, many ways, but honestly, the way I just told you is the most effective. Choose one book that you like that's a good grammar workbook with a lot of exercises and go through that book 5 times. I know it's hard, but not impossible. It's actually not as bad as you think.
Actually, it's not so hard. I tried to read Harry Potter in English. First part.
One moment. Hold on. Zia. Hello, Zia. Zia, this is my classroom. This is not a place for you to hit on women. Okay? So please, Rima does not want to speak with you. She made that very clear to you. If you continue, I will remove you. Do you understand me, Zia? Tell me you understand me right now. Do you understand me, Zia? Say, yes, I understand, I apologize, and end it. If you want to learn English, I'm the teacher. You should be listening to me, not trying to chat with some girl in my audience. Do you understand me, Zia? I'm giving you 10 seconds to reply to me or I will remove you from my room. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, I'm sorry. Goodbye. I'm removing you from my room now. Goodbye. Okay. Rima, I'm sorry about that. I was busy talking with my friend here, and I did not notice that you were being bothered by Zia, and I don't tolerate that in my room. If you come to my any of my voice rooms or my live streams, you should be here to learn, or you shouldn't be here. Let me make that very clear to everyone. Understand? All right? Okay, sorry about that, Dima. I just had to take care of that.
It's okay.
All right, and I interrupted you.
You're very responsible.
It's a classroom. I'm a teacher. That's the way it works. You know, I don't care how old you are. You have to act like an adult in my room.
Yeah, by the way, I'm saying this to everyone. Mark does his job, teacher job, very seriously.
I do.
Not
do.
many people do their jobs like Mark. So,
Well, thank you for saying that. And it's easy when you care about what you do, and it's easy when you love what you do. And I do love what I do, and I do care about what I do.
yes, and we can feel it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. That matters to me. Thank you. So, yeah, I'm sorry you had to deal with that, Rima. I don't think you're going to have to deal with that again, but I hope I made my point to everyone else here. That's just not cool. What are you doing coming to my room? It's also kinds of bugs me when people come to my room and say, hey, practice English with me. Come practice English with me. Come practice English with me. It's like, you know, I mean, I understand that you're trying to get as many people to talk to you as possible, but that's not the purpose of coming here, you know? Yeah. Anyway. So, Dima, I interrupted you when I had to say that. Did you have something else that you wanted to ask me about?
Oh,
or that you were meant to make a point
I
of?
just wanted to say that I tried to read Harry Potter first time. It was a little boring because I didn't understand almost 50%. But after I tried to translate some words, to learn some words, and I read it again, and it's not so boring because I understand
Right.
what's going on in the book.
Yeah. You know, Harry Potter is actually kind of an interesting example because it's kind of like the J.R.R. Tolkien books. Those books are fantasy books, and it's created in a fantasy world. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, about wizards, about magic.
that's right. And I love those
Magic
things. But
creatures.
sometimes they also create words that are just in that world that don't exist in real
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
And sometimes that gets
You're right.
confusing. Like, what is this? Like, you know, what is this word? You know?
I'm a bit fan of Harry Potter. I like Harry Potter from childhood. So for me, it's everything from Harry Potter is familiar. This is why
Well, that's
I
cool.
choose Harry Potter book.
Well, if you want to step up your game and try something more difficult, then try J.R.R. Tolkien books like The Hobbit or The Lord of the Rings. They're
Oh,
famous
yeah.
because of the movies, but the books are much better than the movies. J.R.R. Tolkien was a genius. He used to work for a dictionary company, and he created an entire world. He created languages that are full languages. He created
know.
the language of Elvish.
I
That's
read
crazy. Yeah.
I read I read
The Hobbit?
The Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. In Russian, of course, not
Oh,
in
okay.
English.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, try it. Now
But
that
it
you
was
read it in Russian,
also
read it in English.
amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Now that you've read it in Russian, try reading it in English now.
No, this book is a little bit complicated
It
for
is
me.
a little difficult.
Yeah.
That's a bit difficult. But you know what? The majority of kids in America, when they get that book, they're probably about 10, 11, 12 years old. Isn't that amazing? Because that's pretty difficult reading, to be honest. You know, so if you can read that at the age of 12 or 10 or 11, that's pretty amazing. But that's why reading is great, because when you get involved in a story, you get kind of addicted to it and you want to read more and more. And so even if it's difficult, you push forward because you're so enamored by the story. Enamored means you're in love with. So, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. The last question. Can I ask you the
Sure,
last question?
of course.
I've never asked you about this. How do you think what accent I have?
You have a slight Russian/Eastern European accent.
How do you say?
Slight
Russians?
Russian/Eastern European. You know, like if I had never met you and I didn't know what country you were from, I would probably guess Russian, but I might also mistake it for some other Eastern European country. You know, like it just depends. Some people who come from, you know, like my family comes from Slovakia, and so people from Slovakia, when they speak English, not that different than the way you sound. You know.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it's similar. It's similar. I think it's similar. There's a similar way to it. It just depends. When you say certain words, then I hear the Russian, and then I hear, oh, okay, yeah, it's more.
Especially
of a Russian
with
accent.
letter R,
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
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 totally
Or
different.
sometimes there's words that the Russian word. Let me think of an example. There's a certain sound in Russia that's like this nya, like niet, right? And niet,
Niet?
right? Yeah. And there's certain words that when they speak English, the ya sound from their language travels over to their English, and they still say it in English. And there's nothing wrong with it because you can hear it and it's still clear, but it's definitely a sign of a Russian accent. Yeah.
Yeah, I was struggling with my pronunciation first time, but I can't fight everything. So I think, yes, of course, I have Russian accent
Yeah, but don't worry about it, man.
because I don't open my mouth so enough, I
It's
think.
not so much that for you. No, your mouth movements are no. It's just a matter of not the size of your mouth. There are certain sounds that maybe you need to work on.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. So you just need to do that accent improvement list that I told you about, and then figure out which of the sounds for you that are really difficult for you, and then figure out
Especially
what's different with the mouth
TH,
movement.
TH
Okay,
sounds
there you go.
are very difficult for us
And
because
V's,
they
very, very,
ve-
very.
very.
There
Yeah,
you go. That's good. That's good that time.
I practiced this very well.
There you
Where
go.
and
That's
and
right.
where it's. I
That's
know
right.
there are different.
That's
Yeah, I
exactly right.
practiced.
Good.
But
See?
I can't pronounce correctly this all time.
Right. But that's
Sometimes
okay.
yes, I know, I don't pronounce correctly.
Again, language is like music. You're always working on trying to become more musical. So maybe it sounds pretty musical now, and it can sound more musical the more you work on it. Okay? But, again, some musicians, we work on a song that we learned when we were 10 years old, and we're still working on that song when we're 50 years old. Because we can always make it sound more musical. Musicality is something that is about, like, it's almost this form of maturity. The more you understand about the music, the more mature your understanding becomes, and the more you are able to refine the sound more and more. But if you've only learned the language for a short amount of time, then you can't refine it as much. So a certain amount of refining your accent just takes time and maturity. Okay? It's like a
Yeah,
fine
but
wine.
do I need to improve my clarity?
No, not at
No,
all. No, you're
it's
perfectly
enough.
clear. Yeah.
Okay, good.
You've already
Because
achieved
sometimes I
clarity.
care about this. I don't know how understandable am I.
I can't imagine anyone not being able to understand you. Like if you came to America and somebody said, I don't understand him, I would say, well, that's your problem, man, because I understand him perfectly fine.
Okay.
Like I would be like,
Okay,
yeah, what's wrong with
thanks,
your
thanks.
ears that you can't understand him? He's speaking fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
And that is another aspect of this, that you have to remember that every person you meet in this world has a different experience. And that means
By the
that
way-
some people have more experience listening to languages like I do. I've heard languages from all over the world spoken in English, right? I have accents with English from everywhere. And so I'm really good with understanding everyone's English, no matter where you're from. But you might meet somebody here who has never met a foreign person in their life. And when they hear any accent, they're like, huh?
Oh,
But that doesn't
really?
necessarily mean it's.
Even in America, even American people?
Yeah, sure. There are some people who don't travel and they don't really know anything. They live in a very small world. There are some people who live in an insular small world. They want to live in a small world. They're not interested in being worldly, you know?
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about.
That's the same
But
thing in Russia, the same thing in Belarus, the same. There are always people who are, you know, they're small town people, and there's nothing wrong with that. But being a small town person who's never traveled anywhere and isn't interested in learning about other cultures or interested in learning about, you know, the rest of the world, that means that they have a disadvantage when it comes to something as simple as understanding other accents. And that's why I'm trying to tell you, the problem is not always yours. Occasionally, the person you're talking to just has no experience with understanding anything else other than a native. And that doesn't mean the problem is yours. That means that's their problem. They have no experience. Okay? Or at least I'll say it's not entirely your problem. It's also their problem. Okay?
yeah, I live in a small town now for 5 years,
Okay.
for 5 last years, and you know, I started learning English living here, and actually, it's not a problem that I live in a small
Well,
town
that's
because
good.
the internet covers me
Well, there
whole
you go.
world.
But don't you know at least one person who doesn't use the internet and doesn't get out much and doesn't want to know much about the world? I know plenty of them here. I mean,
Yeah, of course.
they're not my
There are
friends,
people
but I
like
know
that.
it wouldn't be hard for me to find them. I could go find one and be like, you know, have you ever met somebody from a foreign country? No. Have you ever heard another language? No. Have you ever tried to learn a language? No. I'm sure there are many of them here, you know. Yeah. That's why, again, my favorite quote from Mark Twain is all about how he has this great quote. It's a long quote. I'll read it. Mark Twain is the guy who wrote Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer. And he has a quote about travel, and he says, here it is. Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and many of our people need it sorely on these accounts. He says, broad, wholesome, charitable views of men and things cannot be acquired by vegetating in one little corner of the earth all one's lifetime. So basically, he's saying if you live in a tiny little town your whole life and you never get out, there's a very good chance that you're going to be prejudiced or bigoted or narrow-minded. But if you
What is
travel,
it?
I'm sorry?
What does it mean? These three
Oh,
words.
prejudice, prejudge,
Prejudice.
to judge people before you know
Oh,
them.
yeah,
Prejudice.
prejudice. Yeah.
Bigotry is another form. It's like a similar kind of a thing. To have ideas about people that are not right, but you just form them in your idea. You're a bigot. If I don't like black people because they're black, that's bigoted. That's stupid. You know, there's no basis for that. Prejudice could be judging you for anything. You know, if I said, "Oh, well, you're from Belarus, so I don't like you," that's prejudice. That's weird. You know, and narrow-mindedness just means having a small mind. You know, a small
Narrow
view.
mind.
Yeah,
Oh,
narrow-mindedness.
Narrow.
Yeah, narrow means very
I just,
like
I
this.
just, I just heard like narrow.
Yeah. Narrow.
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 Similar.
And yeah, he's basically just saying that if you live in one little tiny place your whole life and you never travel anywhere, it doesn't mean you definitely will be a bigot or prejudiced or narrow-minded, but the chances are really, really good. But if you travel just a little bit, it changes your view of the world. You see different people. You learn about them. You know, when I lived in Taiwan, it was a wonderful experience for me. Finally, I'm a white guy, but now I'm the minority. And now you have to feel like, oh, that's different now. Things are not all about me. It's, you know, I'm the guest in their country. I have to do it their way. I can't expect them to do it my way. that changes things for you. You have to really, and not everyone can handle that. I saw plenty of people who were over there who were like, they had lived there for 10 years and didn't learn any Chinese. And to me, that was shocking and embarrassing and shameful. If you're going to live in a country for that long, you can't learn any of the language? What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
That's weird, man. I mean, I don't
It's
live in
really
any other
weird.
country
Yeah.
now, but I've learned a few phrases from a bunch of languages. It's not that hard.
Yeah, it seems like they are just sitting at home and just communicate with people from their country and talking only with their
That's
native
exactly
language.
right. That's exactly right.
Why?
Right.
Why?
Well, for some of them, it's just economics, right? They went there because they got paid better there, and they have a better life there because they make better money in an economy that's not as expensive as this one. And I understand that from an economic standpoint. I get that. I did the same. That was why I went there too. But from a cultural standpoint, I just think it's the height of arrogance. It's the height of cultural arrogance to live someplace for more than a few years and not have learned any of the language, So yeah, right. Even when I was first there, I tried my best to say a few things in Chinese whenever I could, and I butchered the language. I completely was horrible, but I did my best. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. That's the way it works. So, yeah, that's how life is, everybody. You just have to try to remember that, like I said, language is your responsibility to learn, but there are two people involved in a conversation. Right? That means that sometimes the problem is not always you. It could be them too. And it just depends on who you're talking to. For example, look, my father is not an ignorant man at all. He has a PhD in psychology. And he's a very, very generous, kind-hearted man. But sometimes he's older, his hearing is not very good first, and he doesn't have as much experience as I do listening to accents. So for example, sometimes when we have to call customer service and try to get something taken care of, it's often an Indian person or a Hispanic speaking person, right? A Spanish speaking person, right? And so they have an accent. And sometimes I have to go help my dad because his ears don't hear it as well as mine do.
By the way, I don't understand why it's really difficult to understand Indian accent for me. I don't understand why, because I talk to people from many countries, but Indian accent for me is the most difficult. I don't understand why.
It's mostly because they have such a small mouth when they speak. And when they use English, they're using a very small mouth.
But
and
Chinese people also use small mouth.
Yeah, but there's another difference. Hindi is also a language that sounds very fast when they speak. So,
yeah, they speak so fast.
Yeah, well, it's not even that that the language is that fast, but the sound of the language sounds very, very fast. And again, as a drummer, I pay attention to this kind of thing. I've actually been thinking about making it a chapter in my book, like talking about the speed of languages and how some languages sound like they're faster than other languages. They might not be. Syllabically, if you look at the actual data that's being presented, it might not be any faster than English, but the way their language works makes it sound like it is because there are more syllables within a shorter period of time. They might be transmitting the same amount of information in English, but it might have more syllables in a smaller amount of time, so you hear it and you think it's very fast. When you combine that with their English, with the accent and the nature of they generally want to speak at that same pace, then their English sounds a little fast and also a little small, and that makes it harder to understand. Even for me, occasionally. Occasionally, I meet somebody who their English with an Indian accent, they really don't move their mouth very much, and they speak kind of quickly, and their accent is pretty thick. And then it's hard.
As you said, it's not only their problem, it's my problem too, because
That's
I
great.
listen to, and if I don't understand any something,
Well, are
it's
these people
my
that you
problem
work
too.
with, right?
Sorry?
These are people you work with?
From India?
Right. I'm saying, do you work with these people in your job or what?
Oh, no, no, no. I
Oh,
just I remember one case. There was one case when I was in like kind of a lesson for learning English too, and there was one guy from India, and when he spoke, everyone understood him except me.
okay.
Yeah, I know my.
Oh no, we lost him. Was that the time limit, Dima? It might be the time limit. Go back to my YouTube channel, Dima. Well, it happens. Anyway, yeah, Scottish is a really hard one too, Gray, even for me. Occasionally Scottish. Yeah, I've heard some people with a Scottish accent that I'm like, what? What? Yeah, Scottish accent is a really pretty awesome one, but it's definitely can be tricky, especially if they use a lot of slang. Yeah. Okay. Well, Dima, I hope you got your answers from me, and it was good to talk to you again. And I hope you'll go back to my YouTube channel where you won't get kicked out. And guys, I think I need to take a break. It's been 2 hours. I think we need to go get the dog, and I have some work to do. I need to rest. I need to eat. So, Danushka, my dog is old and he may have taken a fall down the stairs and now he has trouble walking. And he also has a disease called Cushing syndrome and it's been getting worse. So, yeah, Dimitri, I know. That's all right, my friend. I know what happened. It's no big deal. Okay. So, Jagmeet, I already told you this answer. I apostrophe D. It means I would. I would something. I would like to go to the store. I would do this if I were you. I would study more. I would. So when you're trying to suggest what someone should do, then you say, I would do this if I were you. I would like to meet you means I want to meet you. I would like to go to that movie. I want to go to that movie. I would is the same as I'd. I'd like to go. I'd like to meet. I'd like to, I'd study more if I were you. Okay. So it's either talking about something you want to do or advice you're giving to someone about what they should do. Okay. And you should Google that one because I'm sure if you just type in a search for I apostrophe D explanation and examples, type in I apostrophe D explanation and examples, and you'll get all the answers you need. Okay, Jagmeet? Okay? And Nesmi, you're still here, and that's what matters, Nesmi. You're still here, and you're still trying, and that's what matters. The only way to fail is if you quit. And you haven't quit, so you haven't failed. Okay? All right. Once again, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Oh, no. Oh, I've got to go. I do have to go. I'm so sorry. I must go right now. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. I have a lesson I totally forgot about, and I didn't realize it's already 1 o'clock. I got to go. See you guys next time. Bye.